friends, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you all are doing well. Infections are common yet serious health concern that can affect anyone, anywhere. But what exactly is an infection? So today's video we will discuss about the infection. Infection can occur when any harmful bacteria, virus, fungi, or any parasites enters into the body and get multiply over there and cause illness. So infection is the colonization of the host by microbial species. Classification of infection. First is the apparent infection. So what is apparent infection? An infection that produce symptoms is an apparent symptoms. Then the an infection that is active but does not produce noticeable symptoms may be called silent or subclinical. And third one is the latent infection, means infection is present but it is in inactive or dormant state. So these are the three types of infection: apparent, when the patient will show sign and symptoms; subclinical means infection is there but patient does not show any sign and symptoms; and latent infection means bacteria get multiply over there, is present in the body but does not in active state. What causes an infectious disease? So infection is caused by any microorganism. So these microorganisms include bacteria, virus, parasites, and fungus. So conditions that required for infection to spread from one person to another. So one person must be infected with microorganism, and second is the other person must be susceptible to infection with that microorganisms. Like first point, as we have seen, the person should be infected. So if the person is infected, that can goes to the another person. So when other person will get, what should be the, there should be some susceptibility should be there, so that bacteria can enter into the other person, healthy person's body. So if the person's, like example, if the person's immune system is weak, it can easily enter into that and get multiply over there. Then the microorganism must be able to leave the body of the infected person and enter into the susceptible person. Then types of infection. First is the colonization. So colonization means the bacteria get enter into the body and get multiply over there, get its copy over there, but without producing any identifiable evidence. Then second is the inapparent or subclinical infection. So in this stage, the organism not only multiply but also cause some miserable reactions that is very difficult to clinically detect. Then symptomatic infection. So in this, patient will have the active disease and patient will show sign and symptoms of the disease. So these are the three types: colonization, inapparent, and symptomatic infection. Then time parameters of interaction. First one is the latency period. So it is the period when the bacteria enters into the body, the time between the infectious agent and the onset of the infectiousness. When the infectious agent, either it's virus or bacteria, enters into the body and when it start multiplying, so that period is called the latency period. Second is the incubation period. So this is the time between the infection and the onset of the symptoms. So when our bacteria is enter into the body till the patient's body will start showing the sign and symptoms. So this is the incubation period. Then disease and infectious disease. So disease is the any deviation from a condition of good health and well-being. Infectious diseases, a disease condition that is caused by the presence or growth of infectious microorganism or parasite. Then the pathogenicity and virulence. So pathogenicity, it is the ability of the microbe to cause disease. Means what are the properties are there in the bacteria or virus that can cause the disease, properties of the microorganism. Virulence is the degree of pathogenicity, how much it is harmful for the body. Then acute infection versus chronic infection. Acute infection is having the sudden onset, rapid progression, and often with severe symptoms. Chronic infection is characterized by delayed onset and slow progression. Then primary and secondary. Primary infection, when a healthy person will infect with any microorganism. Secondary infection means the person is having any other infection, and as well as they will suffer with some or infect with any other different microorganism. Then localized infection and systemic infection. Localized means it will be localized on a specific area of the body. Systemic means it will be present in the different part of the whole body. On whole body it will be present, or the multiple parts of the body it will be there. Then clinical and subclinical. Clinical means the body will show some observable symptoms. We can see that symptoms. And subclinical means patient is infected but does not show any sign and symptoms. Opportunistic infection. So this is the infection that is caused by the microorganism commonly found in the host environment. So like this is the infection that is caused by the normal flora. Normal flora means the bacteria that are not harmful for our body, but when they will cause the active disease in the patient, that is called the opportunistic infections. Like the patient who is suffering with the HIV, AIDS. So they will have chances of getting tuberculosis. So here are the some of the diseases. Here you can see. So this image is showing various diseases that can occur if the patient is having the HIV AIDS. Then there are some of the terms that we should know. Bacteremia, that is the presence of infectious bacteria. Viremia means presence of virus. Fungemia means presence of the fungus. And septicemia means when the agent is enter into the bloodstream. Then itis means the inflammation. Like if we'll see pharyngitis, it is called inflammation of the pharynx. Endocarditis, so it is called the inflammation of the heart chamber. Then what is epidemiology? Epidemiology is the study of the transmission of the disease. How the disease get transmitted, what are the agent, what are the reservoir, how it get distributed to the population. Communicable disease, that the disease can transmitted from one individual to another. Contagious disease, the communicable disease that is easily spread from one individual to another. Then non-communicable means it will not transmitted from one individual to another. Endemic disease, the disease that is normally found in a certain percentage of population. Epidemic means it is greater, usually percentage of a specific population. Pandemic means it covers the large geographical area, often on a global scale. Like example is the corona. Corona is a pandemic disease. Then reservoir of infection. So it is the source of an infectious agent like animals, soil, any plant that can cause the disease, or sources of the infectious agent where the agent can live. Then carrier, any individual who carries the infectious agent without manifesting symptoms. Then fomites, any inanimate objects capable of being intermediate in the direct transmission. Like indirect transmission means, like if you are the patient has used the linen or any utensil, or bacteria is there, so if the other person will use the same linen or same utensils, the bacteria or any that agent will get enter into the healthy person. Then animal vectors, the animal that can transmit an infectious agent to the human. So direct mechanism of disease transmission, directly from person to person. Example is the direct skin contact, or like airborne, and from mother to fetus. Indirect mechanism like food, waterborne transmission, and fomites. Fomites, I told you, like any clothes, any utensils. Then animal vectors, from animal to human it can transfer. Then development of the infection, clinical sign and symptoms. So local signs, if you will see, that is the inflammation, purulent exudates if bacteria, infections, serious exudates if viral. Then tissue necrosis, lymphadenopathies, you can easily feel the lymph nodes. Respiratory effects, then systemic signs like fever, fatigue, headache, nausea. So all these signs and symptoms will be present in the patient. Then generalized stages of infection. First one is the entry of pathogen. So porter of entry, it can be anything, it can be through the nose, it can enter into the body. Then it goes to the lungs, get multiply, colonization, that is usually at the site of the entry, so it get multiply over there. Then the incubation period, when the bacteria enters into the body till the first sign and symptom starts. Then fourth is the prodromal stage. This is the initial state when the symptom starts. Then invasive period, when the that shows the severity of the symptoms. So in this stage, patient will have the fever, inflammation and swelling, tissue damage, and infection may spread to other sites, and acne, that is the fascism. So this is all about the infection. If you like my videos, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.